In general, residents are assessed on their worldwide income, and non-residents are assessed only on their Australian source income. Determining the source of income very much depends on the particular facts of the situation. As far as income from personal services is concerned, which includes employment income, the source will usually be regarded as being the place where the personal services were performed. Maria is a non-resident who lives in Italy. For 2 months, she worked in Australia together with Australian colleagues as an architect in a professional firm. Her income from these services would have an Australian source as she performed the services in Australia. However, if the personal services are particularly specialised or can be performed anywhere, then the source will potentially be determined by where the services contract was entered into or where the payment was made. Rod is an American professor who is paid to undertake a legal research project. He undertakes this project by himself in Australia, utilising online research tools. He entered into the contract to undertake this work in the USA, and his payment is deposited into his American bank account. Rod's services could be argued to have an American source, as the nature of his work could be performed anywhere. As a result, the source could be based on where the contract was entered into and payment was made, rather than where the services were performed. For business income, the source will be where the profit was made. This will very much depend on the nature of the business. In general, the source of the business profit will be where value has been added. Just Choc is a UK-based company with chocolate manufacturing operations in Australia. It sells chocolates to Australian supermarkets and has sales and administrative staff located in its Australian office. As the profits are made in Australia, they will likely have an Australian source. In some instances, apportionment may be necessary where the value has been added over more than one location. Spare Parts is a business that produces goods in Australia. The company employs salespeople who travel overseas finding foreign buyers and enter into sales contracts with such buyers outside Australia. It is likely that the profit of this business would be partially sourced in Australia and partially sourced overseas. When interest income has been earned from a bank deposit, the source will be the location of the bank account where the money was deposited. For dividend income, the source of the dividend will be where the profits of the company paying the dividend were made. For rental income, the source will be the location of the country where the property is located. For royalty income flowing from intellectual property, the source will generally be the country in which the intellectual property is located and registered. However, where an Australian resident business pays a royalty to a non-resident, the royalty will be deemed to be Australian sourced. To recap, generally, residents are assessable on their worldwide income and non-residents are assessable only on their Australian source income. The determination of source depends on the facts of the situation, with legislation and case law providing guidance on the source for personal services, business and passive income streams.